In question 1.3.2, we have the quadratic inequality. Yo, but how do you know that, bro? Okay, quadratic, the highest power of x is x squared, and this symbol here is called an inequality. Not a crocodile mouth, an inequality. And the first step with quadratic inequalities is getting everything to one side and making it equal 0. So I'm going to take this 3x over, and additionally I'm going to take this 2 over. And I also want the correct order. So I want the x squared first, and then I'm going to move the 3x over here next to it, and it's going to become minus 3x when I take it over. Okay, then I'm going to slap the plus 4 next to that. And then we're going to chiz and yonke this 2 over, and he becomes negative 2. And then the crocodile mouth, or the inequality, must still point the same way. And then I've got nothing left here, so it's a crispy little kanda, my bro, 0. Once that's out the way, we're going to dollar these like terms quickly. Plus 4 minus 2 just gives me plus 2. Okay, once standard form is out the way, we're going to factorize a trinomial. And thank goodness, this is an easy one because there's no number here, aka there's a 1 there. So I'm going to look at the factors of 2. 2 is a beautiful little thing. It's a prime number. So 1 times 2 are the only factors. Okay, now I've got to think to myself, how does 1 and 2 add or subtract to get negative 3? And it looks like we have to minus both of them. So we say minus 1, minus 2. And now my two brackets that I'm going to factorize is going to be x minus 1 as well as x minus 2. Okay, now I'm going to get my critical values. Now if you don't put CVs in this line, you will get marked down. These are not the answers, they are just stepping stones to get the answers. Okay, and how we get the CVs is we take factor 1 and make it equal to 0, and then we yoink this minus 1 over and it becomes plus 1. Then likewise for factor 2, I grab it, make it equal to 0, I dollar this minus 2 over and it becomes plus 2. And now I have my two critical values, 1 and 2. Now we're gonna hit a young sketch here. We're gonna draw the parabola. Okay, so it's gonna be a stock standard happy face because the number in front of x squared is positive, aka it's a 1. And then with our critical values, the lower one goes on the left and the higher one goes on the right. And once we've done that sketch, we're going to analyze this inequality. It's asking you, where is this parabola above 0, aka where does this parabola have a y value that's bigger than 0? So this is the y-axis here, so I want to find out where this parabola is above the x-axis so that it gives me a positive y value. Okay, so we are inching our way closer. Okay, so this parabola has negative y values in between 1 and 2. And there's actually two places on the parabola where it's got positive y values, over here and over here. So we've got to actually have two separate answers. We've got to list them separately. So the first answer is whenever x is smaller than 1, I'm going to get these positive y values. And I write it just like this, whenever x is smaller than 1. And then I'm going to set myself up to write the other one. So I'll put the word or, and then it's this region over here. So it's from 2 till infinity. So it's from 2 onwards. So it's whenever x is bigger than 2. And we list it just like this, whenever x is bigger than 2. And yeah, we are done. Okay, let's have a look where these 4 marks come from. So first mark comes from standard form, boss. Okay, second mark comes from your factors. And then you get a marker pop for each answer. And then just before I go, the answers can also be written like this. I can say x is an element from minus infinity all the way to 1, or x is an element that starts at 2 and goes on to infinity. So it's like saying from minus infinity all the way to 1, and then from 2 all the way to infinity. And to shorten up that notation, you can do this. You just separate the two brackets with the word or, and there is a symbol for or in maths. It looks like a capital U without a tail. So yeah, it can also be written like that.